All right, so I recently discovered that there's an American persimmon tree on our property, and I didn't even see it. And I've been here for about 3 years. So this was an amazing discovery, and I'm going to show you where it is and talk a little bit about the landscape here. All right, so we have this fence here, and this is the west side of our property facing this way. We have this pretty steep bank here that is unfortunately covered in kudzu. Now, I've done some clearing by hand with the machete. Um, it's a lot of work, but my goal this winter is to clear this out and actually dig up the kudzu crowns and try to restore this land and plant some nut trees, some chestnuts, some hickories, and some other native trees along here. But anyways, this has always been a pretty daunting area of the yard. Um, and I was out here for about 3 hours today just kind of clearing some of the kudzu, and this stuff grows so fast. If you're not familiar, this is an invasive species. It was introduced to the southeast as a way of like um, retaining soil, and it was actually promoted for people to grow this. But unfortunately, it has no real opposition here in the southeast of the United States, so it just really takes over, and it creeps and it climbs on top of trees and other plants to get sunlight. So it really can smother a plant pretty quickly, and that's what was happening to this persimmon tree. Here it is. You can actually see it now. We could not see this at all before, but when I was exploring here last weekend, I saw the fruit of a persimmon tree. I actually couldn't even tell it was a persimmon until I saw the fruit. There's a chestnut tree that I planted last year. Really want to turn this kudzu bank into something really beautiful with a whole bunch of nut trees. Anyways, back to the persimmon. So one of the key features of the American persimmon is the verticality of it. So you can see that the trunk is almost perfectly straight. And I've noticed that a lot with American persimmons. They tend to grow nearly straight up. So there you can see the persimmon fruit. Still pretty green, starting to turn yellow and then eventually an orange. These are astringent, so you can't eat them until they are ripe and basically fall to the ground. So this area was not really accessible for harvesting these persimmons because there were some black locust trees. I've cut these down. Black locusts are great trees, but I wanted to select for this persimmon. So I cut these down. The kudzu was climbing way up over them and just completely smothering the persimmon. And the persimmon's not in that great of shape. You can see, like, the leaves aren't looking super healthy. There's still some dried kudzu vines up there that I couldn't reach. But I feel confident that this tree is going to bounce back. Persimmons are pretty resilient around here. So what I had to do was just kind of, first of all, clear the walking path to get back here, and then cut down a few of the black locusts that surrounded it. So there's also some privet here and some other invasive woody vines. So definitely a challenging environment to work with, but this fall and winter I really hope to have the capability to clear and restore this area. Working on this project has actually kind of like birthed a passion I didn't know I have about myself, but I found a lot of joy in this idea of land restoration. Taking an area like this that's just covered in kudzu, killing the native plants and other beneficial plants that could be there. It's not great. it's a lot of work, you know. Especially I'm just using hand tools and stuff. But the feeling I got when I was able to clear the kudzu and actually see the persimmon tree and know that it's getting the sunlight that it needs to heal and continue to grow, like that was awesome. That was an awesome feeling. And I don't know, I guess I just feel inspired about like the opportunity of restoring this area and turning it into something more beneficial for the ecosystem and attracting wildlife and giving us some food as well. Another exciting piece of news is that we have our first pawpaw. Here you can see the pawpaw fruit. This is the first one that's developed in our yard. We have a lot of pawpaw trees, and this particular variety is called Allegheny. And we got one single fruit hanging on there. It's not ripe yet, but it's a good sign that the pawpaws are alive, and the flowers are actually getting pollinated, and we should have some pawpaw fruit and some pawpaw seeds coming in the next few years, maybe even next year. Here's some of the kudzu and various woody vining plants that cleared from the walking path. If you have any questions or comments or things you want to see in our garden, let me know, and I will see you in the next video.